What's going on, Falcon fan? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Hey, so today we're going to talk about what it's going to take to get that win down in Carolina. Well, up in Carolina this weekend against the Carolina Panthers. Before we get to that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. And please share my videos throughout this YouTube universe. I've been doing this since training camp, a little bit before training camp. I really enjoy talking about the Falcons. You guys hear my input. Had a lot of input over these years what I think about the Falcons. Believe it or not, yep, they're a passion of mine. I love the Falcons. So just to get up here and talk, and share my thoughts on the Falcons, it's been great these last months. But what I think about these last 5 games, I put it in playoff mode. I think the Falcons should be looking at it that way. I think each one of these games are important. I said in my last video, we need to go at least 4-1, maybe 3-2 will get us there, but definitely we can't lose no more than 3 games. So this game is a big game for us. Carolina is 5-7 as well. So I'm pretty sure they're thinking the same thing. They need this game just as much as we do to stay in the hunt. So this is a big game for both teams. All right. So guys, you know how I always do. I go offense, I go defense, and then I go special teams. And then when you think about the keys, a lot of times, these are cliche keys. Of course, each team is thinking about this when they're developing a game plan throughout the week. So, but these are the keys. And if you look at the Atlanta Falcons, hey, this is what they need to do to try to get this W this weekend. They don't need to overthink it. They need to make it simple. And if they can do these things on offense, defense, special teams, they should be able to come out on top. That's what I feel. So let's go right into offense. So the first thing on offense, we got to be able to run the ball. We ran the ball well the last 2 weeks against Jacksonville, against Tampa Bay. We got to be able to run the ball. We run the ball. We control the clock. Last time we played the Carolina Panthers, they actually had more time possession, in the game on us. We couldn't even get any points on the board. We got in red zone a couple of times, so we couldn't even, put points on the board. So it was a close game throughout the game. We lost. We still had a chance to win that game. We have to run the ball. We have to be balanced. That's a staple for Arthur Smith. Going to be physical. We got to be a physical team. We got to be able to run the ball. Simple as that. We've been going. The arrow been headed up in the last couple of weeks. We need to continue to do that and be able to run the ball. The next key that I have is we got to get the tight ends involved. Hayden Hurst is going to be back this week. Him and Kyle Pitts, they could definitely be a dynamic duo in the receiving, from a receiving aspect. Our receivers are what they are. But if we can get the tight ends more involved into the passing game, that's going to open up the holes for the receivers as well. Those routes going to be opened up better if we can get a tight end involved. The greater thing about running that 12 personnel, it's a great running formation as well. So you can do so much out of 12 personnel because you can line the 2 tight ends up. You can actually split Kyle Pitts out in the slot on the outside. So when you bring the 2 tight ends in, they have to bring a bigger defensive package in because it looks like you can actually be running out that 12 personnel. But with our 2 tight ends that we have in Hayden Hurst and Kyle Pitts, we can be able to throw the ball out that formation as well. So, and they can be dynamic doing that. So if you go back to what Arthur Smith had with John O. Smith and the other tight end that he had in Tennessee, hey, that's what he want to do. So the 12 personnel, we talked about that at the beginning of the season. We knew we was going to see a lot of 12 personnel, but with Hayden Hurst coming back, I think we can definitely see more of that. I think we got to get these tight ends involved into the game, especially when our receiving core the way it is. Russell Gage have stepped up in the last couple weeks. He's looking a whole lot better, but I don't think anybody ever mistake Russell Gage for being the #1 receiver. That's what he is right now, but I think we're going to have to take advantage of our tight ends. And then the last key I got for offense, we're going to have to be able to score touchdowns, red zone touches. We got in the red zone last week. We ended up kicking the field goal. Everybody was screaming, run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I think sometimes when offensive coordinators, they outthink themselves. They think they smarter than the other guy. On the 1 yard line, try to run the ball in. Of course, we run the strength against you run against their strength, their defensive line, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But yeah, the 1 yard line, if you want to be a physical, tough team, you got to figure it out. Like I said, in the New England game when he went forward on 4th and 1, I like that. So you got to be physical. You got to be able to want to punch it in. You can't go, pass. Of course, he said that the fumble that we had, that was a run. But at the same time, we got to be able to get the ball in the zone. At the 1 yard line, we got to be able to run the ball. You got 4 downs to run the ball. We got to do something. So that's just my opinion on that. We got to score touchdowns in the red zone. Got to stop kicking field goals. We all love Young Way Cool, but when you get in the red zone, you got to put 6 instead of those 3. That's the way I feel about that. All right, let's go to defense. So defense, we talked about physicality. I think and I said this after the game, the Carolina Panthers straight up punked the Atlanta Falcons the first game. Yes, they didn't put up that many points, but they controlled the clock. They was getting like 5, 6, 7 yards on first down. They just ran over our defensive line, our secondaries. This is a stat you think about a lot of times when you see linebackers and your safeties leading the lead in tackles and stuff like that. Yeah, that's great. They have a lot of tackles, but that means that the running back was getting the secondary a lot, and your safeties and your cornerbacks are making too many tackles, especially on running backs. So we got to be able to be stout up front. I think bringing in Anthony Rush and Mike Pennell in the game is definitely going to help us out. I don't think we had that kind of book up there. That first game we played against those guys, so we got to be able to run the ball. We want to be able to control the clock like they did stop the run. We got to be able to stop the run. We have to. If we can stop the run, we can make it one-dimensional. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback. Probably it's going to be Cam. But I don't think nobody, looks at Cam and think he's a prolific passer. So that's what we want to make Cam do. They want to have a physical team with Cam, run the ball, quarterback dives, whatever. We got to be able to stop the run. Of course, Christian McCaffrey is not going to be there, but he wasn't there the first meeting we had with the Carolina Panthers. So, and they still ran over 203 yards on us. So, at the end of the day, it's not about yards. We had the 2 Buffalo Bill defenders upset when they felt like when the reporter asked, were they embarrassed about giving up all those yards they gave up? But to me, it speaks more to the physicality. If a team can just run the ball down your throat, it's not about the points. It's about just they manhandling you the whole game. And that's what happened to the Falcons the first time we played the Carolina Panthers. That's what happened to the Buffalo Bills when they played the New England Patriots. They just got manhandled the whole game. That's not what we want. You want a physical team. You want a tough team. You want to let a team know you ain't running the ball on us. You're going to have to, you got a quarterback for a reason. You have to use him. You got to pass the ball. So we don't want them to run the ball. That's just how it is. Second key is containment. Sam Darnold got out a lot in containment the first time we played. Dean Pease talked about it yesterday, and those are bad breakers. You go man-to-man coverage, and you stay in your pass lanes, your rush lanes, and stuff like that. You got to be able to stay there. Sometimes the offensive tackle want to take you out wide, and then the quarterback comes right behind that and go out for a big one. So you want to stay in your rush lanes. You stay in your rush lanes, keep containment. That way, the quarterback has to throw the ball, stays in the pocket. That's what you want. So we got to be able to contain. We've been struggling with that all year. Every time we play a running quarterback, we definitely need to make sure that we don't let us hurt us again against Carolina this week. And then the last point that I got is getting off the field on third down. course, it goes with the run game. Make sure we don't have all those third and shorts or second and shorts like we did last game when they was picking up 6 and 7 yards on first down. So that's going to be very important for these guys to be able to get off field on third down. Like I said, most of these are common sense. When you talk about the keys, any team know that third down is the big money down in the NFL on offense and defense. So if you can have the control of third down for your team from a team standpoint, offense and defensively, most of the time you win games. So like I said, most of these things, when we talk about the keys, you say like, of course you got to be able to be good on third down, but that's what it needs to take. You need to go in the game understanding that if we do these things, we're gonna be on the top end. And third down is a big key. So yes, I'm telling you guys right now, I think third down for the defense is gonna be very valuable for these guys. Of course, it's valuable for the offense as well, but like I said, that goes without saying. So, and then the last thing, special teams. We talk about special teams all the time. I only got 2 keys for special teams this week. The first one, like each week, is field position. We got to be able to dictate field position on special teams, return game, on kickoffs. We get past 25. That's already, giving our offense an advantage because the touchback is 25-yard line. So get to the 28, 30. That's already a win for us. On point returns, that we can pin them deep, and we have to, when our offense stall out, try to pin them between the goal line and the 10-yard line, goal line and the 15-yard line. Anywhere in those areas will be success for us to make those guys drive well. So field position is going to be very key, and hopefully we can win field position this week. And then the last point on special teams is explosive play. Still having to have our explosive return this year. We have had some great plays on special teams, a couple of turnovers, blocked field goal, but we need to be able to have an explosive play. I think we got one of the greatest returners in NFL history in Cordell Patterson. He has not been returning kickoffs the last 2 games, probably because of an ankle injury and the amount of touches he's been getting on offense. But if they decide to put him back there again, see can he take one home. And Avery Williams, like I said, we can look back at his college career and see how dynamic he was returning the kicks. So maybe he can break one for a long one. So we just need a explosive play in our return game, either punt or kickoff. So that's my keys, guys. Like I said, in my opinion, I'm looking at this game and the next 4 games to be like they need to have the playoff mindset. Right now, we stay in the hunt. That's where you want to be. As any team, want to be able to say that we're playing for something. We're not looking towards, the off season. We're actually in the mix. We're playing for something, and these next 5 games is definitely going to be important. But the only thing that matters is the first one, because you got to get the first one to look at the next 4. All right, so that's what I believe. I think these guys is gonna live up to it. We don't want to get swept by the Carolina Panthers. We already got swept by the Bucks. Look like they're gonna win the division. It don't matter. We just need to get in the tournament. And we can get to that 7th seed. All bets are off. Right? Any given Sunday, you can go in with momentum. If we can go in with momentum the last 5 games, you never know what's gonna happen. So let's just look at it like that. And that's where we're at, guys. So you guys let me know what you think about my keys. Like, the biggest thing is that if we take anything from the last game, is that the Carolina Panthers punked the Atlanta Falcons. That's the way I looked at it. We got punked. Pretty sure they got punked. They ran the ball down our throat. They was more physical than we were. We couldn't do anything on offense. They ran all through us on defense. We need to turn the tables going to their stadium this weekend. So with that, guys, it's your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.